Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Make something more diverse and varied. Be at variance with, be out of line with. Be subject to change in accordance with a variable. Prices vary. Insert words into texts, often falsifying it thereby. Cause to change, make different, cause a transformation. The advent of the automobile may have altered the growth pattern of the city. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Remove the ovaries of. Make an alteration to. This dress needs to be altered. Lay aside, abandon, or leave for another. The car changed lanes. Cause to change, make different, cause a transformation. The discussion has changed my thinking about the issue. Exchange or replace with another, usually of the same kind or category. He changed his name. An event that occurs when something passes from one state or phase to another. The change was intended to increase sales. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Her mood changes in accordance with the weather. Give to, and receive from, one another. Would you change places with me? Become deeper in tone. His voice began to change when he was 12 years old. Change from one vehicle or transportation line to another. She changed in Chicago on her way to the East Coast. A difference that is usually pleasant. It is a refreshing change to meet a woman mechanic. A different or fresh set of clothes. She brought a change in her overnight bag. A relational difference between states, especially between states before and after some event. He attributed the change to their marriage. A thing that is different. He inspected several changes before selecting one. Change clothes. Put on different clothes. Coins of small denomination regarded collectively. He had a pocketful of change. Money received in return for its equivalent in a larger denomination or a different currency. He got change for a 20 and used it to pay the taxi driver. Remove or replace the coverings of. Father had to learn how to change the baby. The action of changing something. The change of government had no impact on the economy. The balance of money received when the amount you tender is greater than the amount due. I paid with a 20 and pocketed the change. The result of alteration or modification. There were marked changes in the lining of the lungs. Undergo a change. Become different in essence, losing one's or its original nature. She changed completely as she grew older. Having sections or patches colored differently and usually brightly. A jester dressed in motley. Make something more diverse and varied. Make motley. Color with different colors. A collection containing a variety of sorts of things. Consisting of a haphazard assortment of different kinds. A motley crew. A garment made of motley, especially a court jester's costume. A multicolored woolen fabric woven of mixed threads in 14th to 17th century England. Make something more diverse and varied. Change the appearance of, especially by marking with different colors. Move away from a place into another direction. The train departs at noon. Remove oneself from an association with or participation in. Wander from a direct or straight course. Go away or leave. Leave. Be at variance with. Be out of line with. Be at variance with. Be out of line with. Markedly different from an accepted norm. Turn aside. Turn away from. A person whose behavior deviates from what is acceptable, especially in sexual behavior. Cause to turn away from a previous or expected course. The river was deviated to prevent flooding. Be at variance with. Be out of line with. Extend in a different direction. The lines start to diverge here. Have no limits as a mathematical series. Move or draw apart. The two paths diverge here. Spread into new habitats and produce variety or variegate. Vary in order to spread risk or to expand. Make more diverse. Diversify a course of study. Be of different opinions. I beg to differ. Be different. These two tests differ in only one respect. To modify microorganisms by repeated culture in the developing chick embryo. Evolve so as to lead to a new species or develop in a way most suited to the environment. Become more focused on an area of activity or field of study. She specializes in Near Eastern history. Be specific about. Devote oneself to a special area of work. She specializes in honeybees. Suit to a special purpose. Specialize one's research. Vary in order to spread risk or to expand. Tennis. A score consisting of winning a game when your opponent was serving. He was up 2 breaks in the second set. Breaking of hard tissue such as bone. The break seems to have been caused by a fall. Enter someone's virtual or real property in an unauthorized manner, usually with the intent to steal or commit a violent act. Be released or become known, of news. Fail to agree with. Be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. It was presented without commercial breaks. Lessen in force or effect. Break a fall. An escape from jail. The breakout was carefully planned. Interrupt a continued activity. Force out or release suddenly and often violently something pent up. Break into tears. Any frame in which a bowler fails to make a strike or spare. The break in the 8th frame cost him the match. Go to pieces. Ruin completely. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Break a law. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Do a break dance. Kids were break dancing at the street corner. Prevent completion. Break off the negotiations. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. Terminate. Break a lucky streak. Surpass in excellence. Break a record. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The act of breaking something. The breakage was unavoidable. Happen. Break down, literally or metaphorically. A pause from doing something, as work. We took a 10-minute break. Stop operating or functioning. Fracture a bone of. Reduce to bankruptcy. My daughter's fancy wedding is going to break me. Assign to a lower position. Reduce in rank. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. Break a piece from a whole. Break a branch from a tree. Make submissive, obedient, or useful. The horse was tough to break. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Move away or escape suddenly. Nobody can break out. This prison is high security. A personal or social separation, as between opposing factions. They hoped to avoid a break in relations. Some abrupt occurrence that interrupts an ongoing activity. There was a break in the action when a player was hurt. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. The book dealer would not break the set. Cease an action temporarily. Let's break for lunch. An unexpected piece of good luck. He finally got his big break. An abrupt change in the tone or register of the voice, as at puberty or due to emotion. Then there was a break in her voice. A sudden dash. He made a break for the open door. Be broken in. If the new teacher won't break, we'll add some stress. Become punctured or penetrated. Cause the failure or ruin of. This play will either make or break the playwright. Cause to give up a habit. Change directions suddenly. Change suddenly from one tone quality or register to another. Come forth or begin from a state of latency. Come into being. Come to an end. Crack. Of the male voice in puberty. His voice is breaking, he should no longer sing in the choir. Curl over and fall apart in surf or foam, of waves. Destroy the integrity of, usually by force, cause to separate into pieces or fragments. Diminish or discontinue abruptly. Emerge from the surface of a body of water. Exchange for smaller units of money. I had to break a $100 bill just to buy the candy. Fall sharply. Find a flaw in. Break an alibi. Find the solution or key to. Break the code. Give up. Break cigarette smoking. Happen or take place. Things have been breaking pretty well for us in the past few months. Interrupt the flow of current in. Break a circuit. Invalidate by judicial action. Make a rupture in the ranks of the enemy or one's own by quitting or fleeing. Make the opening shot that scatters the balls. Pierce or penetrate. Render inoperable or ineffective. Scatter or part. Separate from a clinch, in boxing. The occurrence of breaking. The break in the dam threatened the valley. The opening shot that scatters the balls in billiards or pool. Undergo breaking. Vary or interrupt a uniformity or continuity. Weaken or destroy in spirit or body. Extend in scope or range or area. Broaden your horizon. Vary in order to spread risk or to expand. Become broader. The road broadened. Make broader. Broaden the road. Extend in scope or range or area. Widen the range of applications. Make clothes larger. Become broader or wider or more extensive. The road widened. Make wider. Widen the road. Spread into new habitats and produce variety or variegate. Extend or spread outward from a center or focus or inward towards a center. Spokes radiate from the hub of the wheel. Arranged like rays or radii, radiating from a common center. Experience a feeling of well-being or happiness, as from good health or an intense emotion. Her face radiated with happiness. Have a complexion with a strong bright color, such as red or pink. Cause to be seen by emitting light as if in rays. Having rays or ray-like parts as in the flower heads of daisies. Issue or emerge in rays or waves. Heat radiated from the metal box. Send out rays or waves. The sun radiates heat. Send out real or metaphoric rays. She radiates happiness. Evolve so as to lead to a new species or develop in a way most suited to the environment. Become more focused on an area of activity or field of study. Be specific about. Devote oneself to a special area of work. Suit to a special purpose. Adapt or conform oneself to new or different conditions. Make fit for, or change to suit a new purpose. Be an understudy or alternate for a role. Reverse, a direction, attitude, or course of action. Do something in turns. Serving or used in place of another. Go back and forth. Swing back and forth between two states or conditions. Occurring by turns. First one and then the other. Someone who takes the place of another person. Every second one of a series. The cleaning lady comes on alternate Wednesdays. Exchange people temporarily to fulfill certain jobs and functions. Of leaves and branches etc. First on one side and then on the other in two ranks along an axis, not paired. Stems with alternate leaves. To modify microorganisms by repeated culture in the developing chick embryo. Serve oneself to, or consume regularly. Fool or hoax. Call for and obtain payment of. Fold up. Take in the sales. See or watch. Take up mentally. Hear, usually without the knowledge of the speakers. Earn on some commercial or business transaction. Earn as salary or wages. Take into one's family. Accept. Suck or take up or in. Take in, also metaphorically. Express willingness to have in one's home or environs. Take up as if with a sponge. Make clothes smaller. Please take in this skirt, I've lost weight. Provide with shelter. Visit for entertainment. Take in the sights. Glazed china with a network of fine cracks on the surface. Make a crackling sound. My Rice Krispies crackled in the bowl. The sharp sound of snapping noises. Make a crushing noise. Having the surface decorated with a network of fine cracks, as in crackleware. A crackle glaze. To become, or to cause to become, covered with a network of small cracks. The blazing sun crackled the desert sand. Provide housing for. Be agreeable or acceptable to. Have room for, hold without crowding. This hotel can accommodate 250 guests. Make one thing compatible with another. The scientists had to accommodate the new results with the existing theories. Provide a service or favor for someone. Make fit for, or change to suit a new purpose. Provide with something desired or needed. Can you accommodate me with a rental car? A framework of hexagonal cells resembling the honeycomb built by bees. A structure of small hexagonal cells constructed from beeswax by bees and used to store honey and larvae. Carve a honeycomb pattern into. The cliffs were honeycombed. Make full of cavities, like a honeycomb. Penetrate thoroughly and into every part. The revolutionaries honeycombed the organization. Bypass. Descent with a parachute. Cause to jump or leap. The trainer jumped the tiger through the hoop. Pass abruptly from one state or topic to another. Jump to a conclusion. Rise in rank or status. Her new novel jumped high on the bestseller list. Run off or leave the rails. A sudden involuntary movement. Go back and forth. Swing back and forth between two states or conditions. Move or jump suddenly, as if in surprise or alarm. A sudden and decisive increase. A jump in attendance. An abrupt transition. Start. A car engine whose battery is dead, by connecting it to another car's battery. Move forward by leaps and bounds. Can you jump over the fence? Jump from an airplane and descend with a parachute. Be highly noticeable. The act of jumping, propelling yourself off the ground. He advanced in a series of jumps. Jump down from an elevated point. The parachutist didn't want to jump. Enter eagerly into. He jumped into the game. Film. An abrupt transition from one scene to another. Increase suddenly and significantly. Prices jumped overnight. Make a sudden physical attack on. The muggers jumped the woman in the fur coat. Make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. Make clothes larger. Bring out of a specific state. Express audibly. Utter sounds, not necessarily words. She let out a big heavy sigh. Vary the pitch of one's speech. Fix or adjust the time, amount, degree, or rate of. Modulate the pitch. Adjust the pitch, tone, or volume of. Change the key of, in music. Modulate the melody. Vary the frequency, amplitude, phase, or other characteristic of electromagnetic waves. Give an incentive for action. This moved me to sacrifice my career. Be in a state of action. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. The soldiers moved towards the city in an attempt to take it before night fell. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. Cause to move or shift into a new position or place, both in a concrete and in an abstract sense. The director moved more responsibilities onto his new assistant. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. We must move quickly. The act of changing your residence or place of business. They say that 3 moves equal 1 fire. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Follow a procedure or take a course. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. Progress by being changed. Propose formally. In a debate or parliamentary meeting. Arouse sympathy or compassion in. Her fate moved us all. Change residence, affiliation, or place of employment. We moved from Idaho to Nebraska. Dispose of by selling. The chairman of the company told the salesman to move the computers. Game. A player's turn to take some action permitted by the rules of the game. Go or proceed from one point to another. The debate moved from family values to the economy. Live one's life in a specified environment. She moves in certain circles only. Move so as to change position, perform a non-translational motion. He moved his hand slightly to the right. The act of deciding to do something. He didn't make a move to help. Become tight or as if tight. Become more focused on an area of activity or field of study. Make or become more narrow or restricted. The selection was narrowed. Characterized by painstaking care and detailed examination. A narrow scrutiny. Lacking tolerance or flexibility or breadth of view. A brilliant but narrow-minded judge. Define clearly. I cannot narrow down the rules for this game. A narrow strait connecting two bodies of water. Limited in size or scope. The narrow sense of a word. Not wide. A narrow bridge. Very limited in degree. Won by a narrow margin. Become more focused on an area of activity or field of study. Define clearly. I cannot narrow down the rules for this game.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.